Welcome back, fans. This is the Backseat Gorilla Club. I am Sean Patrick. That's Brother Lucas. We're here to bring you some results and some commentary about the G1 Climax tournament from 7/26/2018. This is going to be the B block. These are the tournament matches that we're covering. Tonight we've got Hiroki Goto versus Toru Yano, Naito versus Tama Tonga, Tomohiro Ishii versus Zack Sabre Jr., Juice Robinson versus Kenny Omega, and Sanada versus Kota Ibushi. We'll just roll straight into this first matchup here. We have Goto versus Yano. And, Yano removes that belt buckle right from the get-go. He can't help himself. And, of course, we have done a jump start by Yano. Yeah. And he grabs that shirt, and, he does a little shirt choke something spot that he does. Really quick way to start off the evening. We'll start off after the quasi intermission anyhow. It pretty much just ends up let's see, Goto hits that running wheel kick into Yano in the corner. A series of quick roll-ups, because as we all know, that's the only way that Yano can win. And in the end, Yano tried to low blow Goto. Goto caught it, and then let's see, there's a series of headbutts there, and Yushigarashi followed by GTR for a 1-2-3, Goto for the victory.
Yeah, super quick. That was under probably 4 minutes or something close to that.
Yeah.
It was it was good. I'm glad for Goto though, just because, or both of these guys, but mostly Goto because he has longer matches. He gets a night off basically, like you said. So, the next match, seventh match of the evening, is Tetsuya Naito versus Tama Tonga. So, this is going to be interesting because this starts off with Naito sort of trying to get Tama Tonga to get rid of Tonga Loa right off the bat, because he knows it's going to be an issue, because it has been this entire tournament, and specifically in their last tag match, they kind of had a bunch of their guys run in. So, no different here. That ends up what happens here. But it starts off with basically the Tama Tonga does send Tonga Loa up the ramp, but Naito's attention is turned to Tonga Loa going up the ramp, and then Tama jumps him, and then he ushers Loa back in. So it's just a big ruse anyway to distract Naito. As far as offensive moves go, they start off with Naito ends up getting the advantage and getting some pretty nice arm drives in there, and both Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa are on the outside, and of course Naito does his signature Tranquilo spot, faking the dive and just relaxing instead. Tama Tonga at one point hits a pretty nice drop kick. He has a pretty solid drop kick. Naito hits his little sweep and drop kick combo in the corner as usual, and he hits his really nice off the ropes tornado DDT. At another point in the match, I think Tama Tonga is distracting the ref or whatever, and Loa ends up hitting a power bomb on the ramp to Naito. Mm-hmm. He rolls him back in the ring, and there's a nice little near fall. Tama Tonga hits a Tongan twist. There's a couple variations of him trying to hit the gun stun a few times. There's a really nice high angle German suplex by Naito as well. And then really there's a point where there's a ref bump. Tama Tonga catches Naito and throws him into the ref, and at that point, Loa runs in, starts doing his thing, and everybody else starts running in. Evil runs in, Fale comes in to get on Evil. Bushi runs in to attack Fale, and I'm thinking to myself, what the hell is this going to be? Like, this doesn't seem like a wise move, and I should have known. He's done it a few times. Bushi comes in more than a few times, hits the mist in Fale's face. That takes him out for the moment. Yeah, and then there's a low blow by Tama Tonga. Naito responds in kind, and then he hits him with a Destino, and they're both kind of holding their crotch, and then he gets the Destino in there for the win. Pretty good. And then after that, for some reason, Naito does this thing to the ref afterwards. He's like hit my back or something, it's massage my back or do pound on it or something. So Marty Asami comes in and does that, or Kenta. It was Kenta. I'm not sure it was Marty. It's a ref, whichever one it was, and he throws him out of the ring for some reason. I don't even know what that was, but yeah, that was a solid match.
Then we have, right afterwards, the spit at Rocky Romero at
Oh
ringside.
yeah. He also spit on Tongaloa at one point in the match too. And Tongaloa goes, "What did I do?" Like he's not gonna be there to ruin everything.
Yeah. All right, so here we have the battle of the big guy versus the battle of the smaller guy, or versus the smaller guy. Ishii and Zack Sabre Jr. This one, like I just said, it's the smaller guy versus the bigger guy. Smaller guy's trying to get submissions. The bigger guy's trying to get brute force blows in. Start off with a knuckle lock, and Ishii obviously has the advantage on that one. Zack Sabre manages to escape. And they're just all over the place. There's a bunch of roll-ups. They do some rolling around on the mat. Some kind of chain wrestling-ish. It's mostly Zack just kind of flutterbuying, yes, all over Ishii, trying to figure out what he can get to work. They end up having a clean break after that, and of course Zack has to do the facepalm thing right afterwards, which upsets Ishii.
Yeah.
Let's see, Ishii's going for some chops and stuff. Zack ends up trapping that arm and brings him down into an armbar. Then we have a proper butterfly lock applied.
Cool.
They called him from behind, and that drove the face down into the mat, kind of bent the neck over, drove. It was more like the back of the head into the mat.
He had him with the legs too.
Yeah.
And it's the butterfly lock.
The butterfly lock. I like it.
Yeah.
Had of course the chop slaps by Ishii. Let's see. Oh, there was a Ishii grabbed an ankle lock or a toe hold actually during that, so he's trying to give Zack a little bit of his own medicine. And then he hits this move. Zack kicks out, and Ishii grabs his foot and ends up like dropping down with his foot on his shoulder and hyperextends the knee, and then he gets
That's
a
cool.
shin breaker off of that one as well. A couple of there was an octopus attempt in there, typical everything that you would like to see out of Zack Sabre Jr. Triangle, all that good stuff. But in the end, Ishii tapped out to an armbar, which is something that
Surprise.
you never ever see. You might see him pass out, but you'll never see him tap. But he did in this one.
Yeah. That was nuts. Yeah, there's a couple nice headbutt spots in there. And then they traded each other's attempts, at their finishers. Oh, the pop-up headbutt by Ishii was cool too. He did like, how you come off the ropes and you pop them up like you do a pop-up power bomb or anything else. And he just did a headbutt instead. Yeah, and that armbar, it was like a modified Fujiwara style armbar that Zack tapped out Ishii. That was one of the beginning of the surprises of the night, I would say, for this portion. So going on to the ninth match is Juice Robinson and Kenny Omega. So there's a few stories in this match to start off with. Of course, Juice and his hand has been the ongoing struggle that he's been dealing with in this tournament, and also at this point he's scoreless. So it was kind of like, can Juice win this match against like the best guy? I mean, at some point he's going to be due a win just by virtue of statistics in this tournament. Juice is going to get a big win, but not yet. So anyway, they start off with a handshake, and Kenny, you called this from the beginning. Kenny starts to basically contemplate, whether or not he's going to attack this left arm of Juice's. And what it starts off with, he's about to, he does the little tricep curl when Juice is on the ground. He's going to stomp on it or whatever on his left hand, and then he thinks better of it in the mid move. He's like, maybe I shouldn't do that, because Kenny's the baby face, hero right now, not trying to go through any lengths to stretch out a dirty victory or anything like that. So he's trying his best to stay away from the left hand, but so they go back and forth a little bit, and you know how they have this spot where the guy kind of does a headstand and his legs are straight up, and I think you called it like the sniffing his ass move. And what was interesting, I'd never seen this before. Juice did like a miniature little pile driver from that position. They called it a short pile driver, and I mean that was innovative. I had never seen that. And so Kenny hits a nice snap Rana. He goes for the Terminator spot, but Juice cuts him off with a spear right through the ropes. Kenny hits a Guitar Crusher, and then a baseball slide to Juice. Juice, they go on the outside, and Juice hits a suplex on the outside on the mat, and then at a certain point, Juice starts hitting his punches, and this time he's gotten wiser about not hitting the guy with a left or trying to, and instead he just goes right to the chops after he hits his signature jabs, and then there's a point where Kenny just kicks him in the hand, like he just says screw it, like he's just like never mind, I'm tired of trying to be careful, I have to fight you, so and then Juice does a inside version of his sidekick that he'd been doing, and he just said eat shit, like he hit Kenny with it, so that was new.
A little retaliation there.
Yeah, full Nelson bomb by Juice, and he misses a cannonball. Kenny tries to do his "you can't escape" maneuver as he goes for the moonsault. Juice pulls his knees up and hits Kenny in the gut. A couple of V triggers and then a couple of snapdragons. At this point, they both German each other like right on their heads. Like Juice Germans Kenny. He lands right on his head and neck. Kenny pops back up, basically does the same thing to Juice. There's your receipt. There's a Juice box attempt and a 2 count after a reverse Rana by Kenny. And then Juice does hit the Juice box, and so he won his last match with that move. So you're like, oh, is Kenny gonna eat this from the Juice box? No. He kicks out, and then Juice tries to do his Pulp Friction. That doesn't work out. He doesn't actually get that to happen, and Kenny does his cross-legged fisherman neck breaker. A couple more V triggers. Then there's a roll-up 2 count near fall by Juice, and then inevitably One Wing Angel for the win. Kenny's still undefeated in B block. Juice is still scoreless in B block.
But he did manage to open up Kenny a little bit with those chops. There's a nice little red spot on his chest, where he's bleeding a little bit. So the final match of the evening in the main event, Sonata versus Kota Ibushi. Let's see. Great mat wrestling on this. Great chain wrestling. And they popped up onto their feet. There's some great standing exchanges back and forth. That's the story of this match. Back and forth, 50-50, all the way. Anything you can do, I can do better. I mean, this is just a fantastic event to watch. You got everything from moonsaults to dives to basement drop kicks. I mean, at one point in time, Kota hit a double backflip kick and then followed it with a springboard Rana. I mean,
yeah.
Out there on the outside, man, and here we go, talking about the 50-50. See, Kota did a Nasai moonsault, and then after that, they hit a springboard missile drop kick, and then Sonata hit a springboard missile drop kick right back. A few skull end teases. Sonata caught a roundhouse to the side of the head. That rocked him a little bit. A lot of these skull ends, they were roll throughs, so Kota really seemed to, figure out how to get out of that and how to capitalize on the situation. See, Sonata hit a fantastic Tigerplex in there towards the end, and one move that I really, really liked. I think Sonata had whipped him off the ropes or something, but Kota came up. It's like he was gonna drop kick him, but instead he did the double stomp straight onto Sonata. Maybe he's going for a flying crossbody or something. I don't remember how it happened, but it was fantastic to watch. Oh man, Kota, see, he got turned inside out by a lariat. Went up for a last ride. Kota, picked Sonata up for a last ride, which is a move that I just don't see fitting him very well. Maybe it does, I don't know. I know there's some history with it, but it just seems a little odd to me. I got a 2 count off of that. There's a little Kamigoya tease that didn't happen quite as planned. Skull end got countered again, but finally he did end up grabbing that skull end in the end of the match. Basically, he passed him out right then and there, and Red Shoes didn't call it. So he said, alright, fine, let him go. Went up, hit a moonsault, and after that, you had the 1-2-3 Sonata for the win.
This was crazy. So, I mean, it wasn't that crazy for Sonata to go over necessarily, but I wasn't expecting it. I thought Kota was going to pull this off. He's my pick to win this whole thing, and it's not pulling through for me right now, but I think he's going to catch up. Yeah, and then Sonata cuts a freaking promo in the middle of the ring, and I'm just like, what is going on right now? And then he cuts a backstage promo, or the backstage interview, press conference style. And so, yeah, I mean, this was a big surprise match. It was really good athletically. These guys, besides Kenny, are the top 2 athletes in New Japan, I would say. And they didn't disappoint. It was just nonstop action the whole time. So, yeah, this was a really good night and a really good B block event.
Yes, sir. Looking forward to A block tomorrow. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah, it is.
But in the meantime, we're going to call it a night. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification. Drop down a little bit further. Leave us a comment. Tell us what you want to hear, what you think about us. And also, we got all your social media outlets covered. We're either at BSGC Wrestling or Backseat Gorilla Club. Just look us up. We'll be right there. But until next time, build that brand.
See ya.